Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review today. I'm here to talk to you guys about Silver Bullet and their brand new album, Mooncult, out March 29 on Reaper Entertainment. The album has 12 tracks and is 48 minutes in length. For those of you that don't know this band or don't know what to expect from this band, I really want to give you a little bit of a background in terms of the sound, the structure, the feel of this record. These guys are from Finland and they are a symphonic power metal band, and this is their second album. Overall, the album is a concept album. The story of the album is loosely based on a true story that happened in Scotland. But overall, the more that I listened to this album, I really felt that there were two predominant styles fighting for supremacy on this record. Obviously, one of them would be the symphonic power metal, and the second one would be the new wave of British heavy metal. I really find that the whole album, every single song has a little bit of those two worlds. Those two worlds come together to create a very dynamic album and sound and structure and feel, the way the guitar solos are played, the way the songs are structured, the way the album is created, the way the story is told. All of these elements to me come from those two camps. Obviously, the more you listen to it, the more you feel like the symphonic power metal side wins, but to me, I really feel like the songs have a little bit of these two worlds, and that is what gives the songs the life, the dynamic that this album really has to offer. The way it comes across to me, this album really plays like a musical, and obviously a lot of that has to do with the fact of being a concept album, of telling a story that starts with the first song and finishes with the last song. So obviously that plays a role, but overall, the more that I listened to this album, the more that I got into it, the symphonic elements of the record really played out well, and it really gave the album a feel of a musical. It's almost like you can close your eyes and you can imagine the scenes playing out in front of you. That is how vivid the storytelling on this record comes across. And to me, there are some elements that really allow for the stories to come across in that way, in that vivid way that really makes the album come to life. One of them is the symphonic element. Obviously, the symphonic element really gives a stage presence. It really gives a cinematic vibe, really it gives the album a feel of being more than just a music album. It really makes it feel, like I said, like it's a musical, like there's people playing the scenes. It just gives this larger than life feel to the record. So that's one component. On the other side, I really felt that the other component that really increased the enhancement of the storytelling was the vocal tracks and how they laid the vocals and how they used vocal tracks on this record in general. I really like the fact that they incorporated choirs, they incorporated characters speaking in the first person, they incorporated narrators, female vocalists, they incorporated a lot of different condiments, if you will, that really allow the storytelling to come to the forefront and to be the main focus of the record while the sound plays as the soundtrack to those stories. I really love that. I really fell in love with the album from that perspective, because it really felt like an audiobook, or like I said, it felt like a musical. And to me, that was extremely important in order to tell the story the way the story is supposed to be told. It was almost reminiscent of albums from back in the day from King Diamond, where you had that storytelling aspect where different characters would come in, speak in the first person, you would have a narrator. I really like that. It really enhances the vibe, the overall feel, and how the album comes across to the audience. I really like that. I thought it was really well thought out, really well played. They really used those key elements throughout the record on different tracks to really enhance the storytelling and to really grip you and grab your attention and really guide you through the whole story as you go through the record. Absolutely amazing job from that perspective. I really enjoyed it. I was captivated by the album, and this is one of those records that really combines a lot of elements that I love. It combines power metal with symphonic metal, with a little bit of that new wave of British heavy metal, with storytelling, with characters speaking in the first person, with a narrator, with choirs, female vocals. All of these condiments are really things that I look forward, and specifically on an album like this, and telling a story like this one. Another thing that I really have to mention, perhaps one that within all of these may be forgotten or may go unnoticed, but to me it was also extremely important to tell the story and to create an atmosphere around the story, and that to me is the guitar solos. The solos on this record are absolutely amazing. They have a mixture of your typical power metal over-the-top solo with your more classical new wave of British heavy metal solo that's more melodic, more intrinsic, that really adds a flow to the song, that really adds something to the song, that really guides you towards where it wants you to take you in that specific track. So overall, I really like what these guys did with the solos. They were extremely important in the storytelling, but also in the melody and the tempos that each song had. And every single one of them was amazing. They did a wonderful job creating solos that added something to the song, either melody, dynamic, life. They just added, each single solo on this record really adds something. And to me, mixed with all the other components, perhaps will be one of the components that people will pay attention to it the least. But as far as I'm concerned, it was one of the most important because it really added a different dynamic to the album. It really brought songs to life. It really added a cinematic vibe that was already there from the symphonic element. The solos added to that. So overall, I really like what these guys did musically, lyrically, and then how they delivered the songs to the audience. Now, as far as tracks are concerned, I picked 3 that I really feel that describe the overall record the best. I'm going to start with Forever Lost. Great guitar melody. This one really has a nice fantasy sound to it. The song really feels like out of this world. It feels like a fantasy realm, that they're speaking about the fantasy world and the fantasy realm. It has that kind of vibe, atmosphere to it. I really like it. The chorus is very melodic and catchy. That's another element that they put through almost every single track on this record, is they created songs that had really catchy and hooky choruses. This one is one of them. I really like that. I really like the fact that it's the chorus really captivates you. I also enjoyed the added layers to the vocal track, specifically around the chorus. It just creates volume to the chorus. It makes the chorus feel more cinematic. And in this case, because this song really has that fantasy vibe to it, it really added to it. I like that. I like the way the song was structured. I like the fact that it was one of the first songs on the record, it was the 3rd song on the record. It really set the mood and the tempo for what to expect from the rest of the album. It's a very dynamic song, super melodic, very beautiful, great guitar riffs, amazing solo, and incredible all-around vocals. And once again, I really like how they added layers to the vocal track, specifically around the chorus. I really felt that it added a little bit of extra substance to this song. Another one of my favorites is Maiden, Mother, and Crone. This to me is perhaps the song that encompasses this whole album the best. If you're looking at a song on this record that really tells you the whole story of the record as far as lyrics, vocal tracks, solos, guitar melodies, guitar riffs, I think this song is the one that tells the story the best. To me, is the one that combines all of the elements that are scattered throughout the record. They're all put into one song, and this is what the song that you get. It has a very somber start, almost like a church choir singing. So it has a very dark, melodic but dark start to the song, but it's a song that's very bombastic. It's very blistering in tempo. It's a fast-paced song with super killer guitar riffs, and it just is a song that just comes through your speakers and it just blows you away. It has such a feeling of being larger than the box that's been held in. It's just a big song. It has a lot of volume to it. It has really cool tempos to it. I really like the guitar melodies on this track. They're absolutely incredible. The vocal tracks on this song are absolutely amazing. They used a lot of bit of everything on this track. They added layers to create volume as far as the vocals are concerned. They used a first person speaking in the first person. There's a little portion of the song where the character in the story is speaking in the first person, so you get a little bit of that. There's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of a choir in it. There's almost everything that you can expect in this song. Specifically around the chorus, I really like what they did with the choir coming in and adding volume to the chorus. Absolutely beautiful. The chorus of this song is chilling. When you put that choir in there and it lays those tracks in there, the presence that it gives to the song, it gives you chills. It's so beautiful, so melodic, with the absolutely incredible solos as well. This song is really a synopsis, if you will, of what this whole album has to offer. And what it has to offer is magnificent, really over-the-top songs that incorporate a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving elements. And this one is, to me, one of the best ones on the record. Just not only from the aspect of incorporating all of these different elements into one song, but how it delivers the song and how big it makes a song feel. It really gives you a sense of you being in the story, of you being part of the story, and more than just somebody who's observing the story from afar. This song really captivates you, brings you in, has a really hooky chorus, and really makes you feel like you're part of the story that's being told. Last but not least, Battle of Shadows. To me, this is perhaps one of the songs that, while has some symphonic elements in it, is perhaps the least symphonic one of the three that I'm mentioning. This one almost feels like your more straightforward power metal song with some British new wave heavy metal vibes to it. This one really feels a little bit more stripped away. It still has some symphonic elements to it. It still has a really cool synthesizer melody that really partners up with the guitar, and those two have the same melody and they carry the melody throughout the track. So there's still some symphonic elements in it. But when you compare it with the previous two that I mentioned, this one is perhaps the more pure power metal track of the three. I really like it, and to me this is a song that really revolves around the chorus. The chorus is the heartbeat of this song, and how catchy it is and how hooky it is. You'll be singing Battle of Shadows in no time after you're listening to this song. It has a really hooky chorus, really catchy, absolutely contagious, and the chorus is so hooky that it has a little bit of an anthem vibe to it. I could totally see this song being almost an anthem. The way it's structured, the way it's delivered, the way the vocal tracks are on it, the way the melody carries itself through, and the way the chorus comes together. It really has everything to be a power metal anthem, if you will. I absolutely love this record. Silver Bullet, Mooncult, for the fans of symphonic power metal, fans of power metal, I highly recommend you guys picking up this album. You'll not be disappointed. The storytelling is great, really captivating. You really feel that you're part of the story. You're not just somebody who's listening to the story, but more important, you're part of it. Absolutely incredible job from these guys from their second album. Go check it out. But for now, I want to hear your comments. Let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on the band, the album? Have you had a chance to hear some of the singles? What are your overall thoughts? Let me know in the comment section. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.